Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, and welcome to the webinar. Ron here, and we'll go over the charts and the signals and take a look and see what the AbleTrend results were from today. I'm going to show here this daily, weekly chart because AbleTrend is going to work the same whether you trade longer term or short term or stocks, futures, forex, commodities, bonds, anything. It's exact same accuracy for everything. What's interesting here is we've got a potential buy signal coming in. Now the daily chart has gone long, but we need that X. I want to see that weekly agree. So tomorrow being the end of the day, end of the week, be interesting to see if we get that. And if not tomorrow, Monday. Usually Monday is when they show up. So kind of keep this one's a good one to keep an eye on. NVCR, daily, weekly chart. And we're just looking for that, we're looking for that weekly X that should show up, somewhere under the price. Because we've got the daily agreeing, and we'll see what happens. Now, there's some resistance here. So, 85 is kind of like a little roadblock. But if we can get a blue X, meaning triple confirmation, this would be a good one to take a look at for the upside. This would be very, very positive. I had a really good signal back here in May. And look at that move up. Remember, as long as we're above these blue dots, stay in the trade. You're safe. They block the prices from going lower until we finally would be stopped out here at the previous second lower blue dot below the price. Not the first one under the price bar. This is the second one, the second step down, the second level of dots under the price. And that was a great trade. The software kept us in the whole way. And that's what had some people tell me today, how they always get out too soon until they had AbleTrend, and now it helps us stay in a lot longer. I'm really happy about that because here's a buy signal at 51. We're out at 89. That's just a tremendous winner. And there were pullbacks along the way, but yet the software kept us in it the whole way. That's a beauty right there. No sell signal, never went short because we had green bars. We had the red X, red dot. We had green bars. And this red dot, by the way, just means it comes in when you get the big X. That's all that is. It was green all the way, meaning too risky to take that trade. And if the daily says it's going up, just like to see the weekly agree. That'd be great. Now, if you're more of a longer term trader, which many are, we've got the new APP module coming out, and it's right up here. This is what the PP stands for. And what the APP does is it allows you to put like a portfolio, a basket of stocks, multiple charts in one workspace, which of course you can do that now anyhow. But what APP will do is it will go back and select the best set of settings. It actually changes the inner settings of those particular stocks. Is called auto select over here. And what you would do is it's not for any intraday, so it's not for this here. But even though this was 149%, what it'll do, you click on you're gonna have a bunch of stocks in this. That's the whole purpose of it. It's for portfolio building. So let's say you had 10, 12, 15, 16. You hit auto select, and it will automatically go back and take a look at all the patterns of each particular stock all at the same time. And it will actually change the settings to whatever settings work best for that particular stock. It is strictly for long-term trades only, and preferably weekly and monthly charts. It's just for long-term trading only. And what you can then do is you can compare it against like the S&P. Like here, the S&P, S&P went up so much in the past year, yet this AbleTrend signal on this stock was up 150%. So, obviously you can see the comparison. It's tremendous. So that's what APP is anyhow, just as a quick overview. It's strictly for long-term stock trading, multiple stocks. And you say, well, where do I find the stocks? Well, that goes back to WinTick, which you can get that now. The WinTick report scans the entire market and looks for all the new buy and all the new sell signals in the market. So it's very helpful. And again, this is basically for weekly and monthly charts. So just a quick overview on that. Ian, no, there's no problem with the support. I didn't get any email from you either, but yet I get, sometimes 50, 60 emails a day, if not more. So no, try again. Anything I don't know what to say, but it's got to be something on your end, because email's working fine all day today. And my email is ronc@ablesys.com. Okay, let's take a quick look at the Russell. NASDAQ was flat today. It was just a kind of a break-even day. It was a small winner, but I'll call it a break-even. Just a real flat sideways day. I mean, nobody can control that. Nobody wins when it doesn't, unless it goes up or down. Nobody can win. So it was just kind of a flat sideways day. But the Russell and is a good one to look at. I know I say that. I would consider this like the second best, smoothest, we'll say, to trade. CL and gold and some of these other markets, they're a little crazy, a little too wild and erratic and inconsistent and unpredictable. I found the NQ and the RTY to be a little bit more smoother, a little bit more easier to predict. So right at the open here, triple confirmation buy signal, really nice trade. And we always use the 1 minute, 1, 2, 3 chart, 1 minute chart, first and last hour, no matter what you trade. Well, I'm talking E-minis now. Always use the 1 minute chart. Now the rest in between the day, perfectly fine to use the 3-9 because the volatility has been very low. And then for sure between 12:30 and 2 o'clock Eastern time, New York time, I wouldn't touch the market right now. It's up to you. Just, it's optional. But with the low volatility, the lunchtime hour has been very, very dead. So I would just leave that alone. Stop loss parameters for RTY, Rick. 3 ticks below the bottom of the first triple confirmation bar. When you get the 2 green bars in a row, like right here, 3 ticks below, here's 2 greens, 2 ticks below, never hit either one of those, stop out right there. Previous lower blue dot, stop out there. But that was, that's a nice point, it's a nice 4.5 point move there. So that's a $200 trade. Look at this great no trade zone. I mean, the software kept us out of that choppy mess for about 20 minutes when anybody else wouldn't know that if they didn't have AbleTrend. So that's just a sideways mess. AbleTrend kept us out of it. Losing trade here. Lost 2 points on that trade. That was really a 1.5. But I always like to exaggerate the losses, unlike what everybody else does and exaggerates the gains. Okay, nice, no trade zone there, another trade there, small loss there, maybe a 0.5 point. Beautiful triple confirmation sell signal. Let's see how that made out. Started really good. Here's your 2 greens, and after you're in profit. After you're in profit, use the 2 green stop because you're moving your stop from here down to here. You can't lose on the trade. In fact, you have to make at least 2 points, 3 points. So that's a minimum winner of $150 per contract. Minimum 150. Could be more if it keeps going lower. But we did give back some there. It ratcheted up really quickly, fast. Stop out right there. That was okay. It came out a little over 2 points. That's a little over $100 on that trade per contract. No sweet spots. Tick chart didn't agree. Rolling right along. Now this is that lunchtime, 12:30 to 2 o'clock Eastern. It's the same thing as 11:30 to 1 Central or 9:30 to 11 Pacific. Just been real dead. And as you can see, pretty much the rest of the way, I mean, that's a beautiful no trade zone. It just means don't do anything. Leave it alone. Triple confirmation short. This one worked out well. There's your 2 green. The stop was here because we keep moving the stops lower, always to the second higher level of small red dots above the price bar. 2 greens, we can move the stop a little lower and we'd be stopped out there. 3 ticks above the top of the green bar. That worked out okay. That was another point and a half or so. Actually, it was about 2 points. So, yeah, it's $100. It's $50 a point for the Russell. So it worked out pretty good. No trade zone. Trade here, about a break even. And that's it. That was the day. So, yeah, it worked out good. We had a good day on RTY. NQ was kind of flat and sideways. There wasn't much going on there. Basically about break even. Michael wants to look at the 9:30 move here. Let's see, Michael Z. Let me go back for you on this one. Was that 9:30? Technically, it was 9:30. Yep, technically that was 9:30, Michael. So yes. So if you got in on that very first bar, you're correct. And then we're going to turn around and obviously go long on the very next bar, and that one was almost 5-point winner. Let's see, 88 and a half, 93 and a half. Yeah, that was 5 points. That was $250 winner per contract. And I had a client actually tell me he had 2 contracts on that today, so he was real happy with that. That was a $500 winner for him. Yes, sir. Sid says he bought Wintick. Suggestions? Well, if you're looking for daily, for longer term, it's for Wintick is strictly for daily and weekly charts. What you do, Sid, is I would suggest the link, today's buy-sell signals for tomorrow's trading. That link gives you all the new buy signals that came into the market. It comes out right about now, actually a little earlier than this. So for tomorrow, that narrows 10,000 down to about 10 or 20. Let's say there's 10. One by one, let's go back to the daily weekly chart. Let's say this one was in it, NVCR. You then want to put those into a daily weekly template because you want to make sure that the daily and the weekly agree. And by now, if you have the blue bar, blue dot, blue X, it's okay to take the trade. So Wintick narrows 10,000 down to a handful. And then the AbleTrend daily weekly template, which is right here. Make sure you use AbleTrend 3 for the weekly, AbleTrend TS for daily, AbleTrend 3 for weekly. You can then narrow those 10 or 20 down to just maybe 1 or 2 or 3. And those are the ones that would, very quickly you narrow 10,000 to just a couple where the odds are greatly in your favor and, that are obviously very low risk. What dollar criteria do you use? I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean, dollar criteria. You don't use, I don't know what that means. You do just what I said. You just look at you just look for the ones that are on that list and then put them into a daily weekly, into AbleTrend, because the signals in Wintick are different. They're not as accurate as AbleTrend. Good job, Michael Z, on that Russell trade. Good job. You did well on that one. Excellent. Skip, what tick numbers? I'm using 55 and 125 for the Russell. Reason that I'm using a really fast chart is because there aren't as many contracts traded in RTY. Yeah, well, that's up to you, that part, Sid. I mean, you can pick, I wouldn't go under 10. You would go 10 to $75 stocks or 75 and above. That's strictly up to whatever you feel. Welcome, Skip. Yep, sounds good, Michael Z. All right, I think we're good. Well, this is another day in the books here and another week, really, almost. We'll see you tomorrow. Anything I can do to help, let me know. Have a good one, everyone.